I'm Fastly's Chief Customer Officer, Kim Ogletree. I will pass it off to Anil shortly, but first you've got to hear from me. Really excited to be here. We're going to talk about how we build better together. I want to start first by starting with a quick exercise. I would like all of you to close your eyes for a quick moment. Nothing weird. Those of you that are home, same thing. Go ahead and close your eyes for a quick minute. I want you to think about the best customer experience. One slide behind here. All right, there we go. I want you to think about an absolute exceptional, great customer experience that you've had. I want you to recall where you were and what company you were working with. What made it so amazing? How did you feel in that moment? Go ahead and open your eyes. Most people tell me it's really easy to think about the worst customer experience they've ever had, but it's difficult to think about a good one. And so why was that hard? It's really because the bar is low. Unfortunately, not many companies go above and beyond anymore, and not many companies make it a part of their culture to go above and beyond. Fastly is different. So I'm thrilled to share the stage with Anil today and to have worked on this presentation with him because we definitely have a shared set of values with Glitch. And we know you've seen already all of the exciting stuff that's coming with the roadmap, the deep technical dives that are coming, but what we're here to talk to you about today is really what we do on a human level. We're talking about building together with you. So let me tell you what that looks like. So first I'll say we're humbled by these results. Best-in-class support, Gartner's peer insights, customer choice, highest willingness to recommend. And so we believe that these are rooted really in why Fastly was originally how it came about. Artur Bergman, who you heard from earlier today, was a customer who wasn't getting what he needed from his vendors. So he architected something entirely different, something focused on making developers and customers more productive. The foundation for our customer relationships is rooted on core tenets. There's 4 of them. Got a bit of a delay here. First is trust. You can trust Fastly. When something goes wrong, and there will be times when not everything is perfect, and in those moments, you know that we're going to own that issue and we're going to be honest with you. We believe deeply in transparency. It's part of everything we do at Fastly, both internal and external. We really act as an extension of your company. And communicating, there we go. Communicating with you, again, as if we're a part of your company. It should never feel like a vendor relationship. And finally, we meet you where you are. You can outsource it to us, or you can keep it in-house. It's your choice. But at the end of the day, what's important is that you're never alone. And so I want to tell a story that's top of mind. Elections were last night. You've heard a lot about that throughout the day. And it brings me back to 2020 elections, where if you put yourself in our customers' shoes, the stakes have never been higher, right? I mean, democracy is like literally in their hands. These are the times when like your palms are sweating, and if there's any major issues, jobs are on the line. USA Today did an altitude talk about this very topic, as well as Nick Rockwell, our very own Nick Rockwell from New York Times. As we all witnessed, the 2020 election, there was record traffic. And thanks to instant purge and surrogate keys, USA Today achieved over a 90% hit rate and delivered live data within 3 seconds, beating Google. And they leaned on Fastly, not just for the tech, but for the support as well. They counted on us to be right there with them. Live event monitoring with the command center, alongside their teams providing that extra layer of confidence. We share data in real time with dedicated engineers to troubleshoot in the moment should something go wrong. And then Eric Birch is with us today. He had said he could not have done this without Fastly. And it's the confidence that he had in our tech as well as our advanced support set him up for the best success possible that day. And that's the type of "you're not alone" sentiment that we want you to feel. And so Fastly provides differentiated support, but it goes much broader than just the news. We're behind the biggest events on the internet, starting with football season, all the way through major game releases, through Cyber 5, right? And our customers lean on us to support them in their most critical hours. Some of these events span multiple days, and many lean on us months in advance to plan with them through these events. So we've been counted on for building out disaster recovery workflows that are multi-stage. Larry talked about that earlier today. Live event monitoring, again, with command centers where we've got engineers that are ready and watching and able to troubleshoot live in the moment should anything go wrong. And then custom configurations, so designing those that really optimize performance. And in the real world, sometimes we're not the only vendor, right? On big events, we'll end up working alongside our competitors. And that's okay, because what we're committed to is getting the job done and supporting you. And I forget sometimes that that's seen as unusual because it's routine for us. But our team's focus is to make sure that you win. And if we're going to make great experiences, then we have to be sure that we're empowering developers. So not just those who work for you and for our customers, but the entire ecosystem. Everyone who builds a better, faster, smarter internet. So I just told you how high the stakes are. And now Anil is going to come up and talk to you about how we do those stakes justice by putting the power in the hands of the developers who can use it best. So, all right.
Yeah, it is an incredible time to be at Fastly and to be talking about how we build better together. And I wanted to start with a little bit of background about how the heck I ended up here. So I came along with the team at Glitch that became part of Fastly earlier this year. And if you don't know, Glitch is the friendly community where millions of coders come together to instantly build full stack apps right in their browser. You can go right now to glitch.com and build your own app in less than a minute, and it'll be up and running at a real live URL. It is an amazing experience. And it's so satisfying that over 2 million developers have registered to do it. It's also that thing that brought that energy that Fastly was so drawn to, that we got to join the team and be the basis of a new engagement with developers, a really new commitment to what developers need. And so the Glitch experience is pretty extraordinary. We're really proud of it. We're proud of all the aspects of it. And I want to talk a little bit about what we've learned in building Glitch and how that's informing what we're doing for all developers across the Fastly platform. So we have an idea with Glitch that we call yes code. A lot of you, how many of you have heard the phrase no code, right? It's great. Nice tools. They can give us easy ways to build apps. It's fine. But yes code is based on this idea that code is actually powerful and magical, and that we can create amazing things with it, and that the hard part of coding is not the code. It's the technical barriers, the confusion around configuring a development environment, setting up a place, trying to figure out how to deploy. That is hard work. There's also the social barriers. There's gatekeeping. There's all kinds of folks that aren't included in coding that should be. And Glitch is about tearing all of that down. And now Fastly's new commitment to developers is about tearing all those barriers down and saying yes code. Because how many of you have ever written a line of code? Raise a hand. You ever written a line of code? A lot of you, right? Wait, if you ever read a formula in a spreadsheet? We're counting you. You can keep your hand up, right? Like, that is what code is. And think about the time it lit up. If you got that app to compile or the web page loaded and you had that feeling of, I did it, right? I made something. It is powerful. It is profound. It is how the best things on the internet are made. And the thing that's really remarkable about it is it opens doors. I didn't go to college. I'm the child of immigrants. They couldn't walk me into, a cozy job somewhere. The reason I have all the opportunities I've ever had in my life was because I was able to code, and I was able to put that code to work to building opportunity for myself. It is profound, and we want to give that to everybody. So that's a really exciting place to start in building a platform like Glitch and building the experience that we're headed towards. That's the underlying principle. And how you do that is an idea we think of as going from zero to hello world. What's the shortest possible distance we can go from I have an idea, I have a spark, something that might be something, to it's up and running, right? And in Glitch, we do that in a couple radical ways. The first is we think about being closer to an instrument than a tool. Right? A tool, like when I was doing woodwork, I worked in construction. A tool is the thing, if you're not paying attention, you will cut your hand off. Right? Don't use it. Tools are scary. But an instrument is, I'm going to express myself, and I'm almost not even aware this thing is what I'm manipulating and what I'm controlling. It's just the idea is getting freely expressed immediately. So music is almost the animating metaphor of all the work we do in Glitch. When you go back through your Git commits on a Glitch project as you're coding, it's called rewind. You can go back through it. When you go and you take somebody else's project for inspiration and you make your own version of it, we call it a remix. And it's because we're trying to be an instrument that lets you code as easily as you would use any other instrument that you have. And the experience is something that's pretty profound. I'll talk a little bit about what people see when they come to the Glitch community. The first thing is it is a community. It's a friendly community. You don't get your wrist slapped for, oh, I made a mistake or an error. It's called Glitch. Obviously, you can make mistakes here, right? It's okay. And so there's a friendly community that welcomes you in. They've got playlists of apps that you can take and remix and be inspired from. Some of them are people that coded for the very first time, and some of them are the very best engineers at the most advanced companies in the world that are building technology, like our customers here in the room today. There's also real-time collaboration. When you're coding in Glitch, you're in there editing code together. You can send somebody a link, see their cursor in real time, be editing code, talking on a video chat while you do it. That same energy you bring to editing a Google Doc with somebody or collaborating in Figma with somebody, that can be your experience of coding too. And Glitch makes that real. And then we take away the complexities. When we talk about that time to hello world, you don't have to think about deployment. You don't have to think about configuration. You don't have to think about tabs versus spaces in your editor. It's all handled. It's all deployed, it's all automatic. And when we were independent on our own as a startup, the one thing you couldn't say about it is that it was fast enough. So when we had that problem to solve, guess who we talked to? We went to Fastly. That's what you do. That's how you solve that problem. I can tell you today that every time you upload an asset to a Glitch project, it's delivered through Fastly's network, and it's an incredible experience. That's how our relationship began just about a year ago. That's how quickly things can move. And the wild thing about it was while we were exploring that work of getting the assets to be delivered quickly on all those millions and millions of Glitch apps that people had built, we started to poke around and they said, oh, there's this security offering, that's cool. And there's this compute offering, and that's cool. We didn't know about observability yet, but that was coming. And the extraordinary thing about it was I said, this is amazing technology. Actually, when we became part of Fastly, the quote, I've never worked at a publicly traded company before, so the quote I said is, this is cool as shit. I guess you're not supposed to say that in a press release, but I'm learning. I said it again. So the thing I'd sort of say is, we discovered there was something really amazing here, and I said, I wish that every coder could know about how amazing this entire Fastly platform is. So be careful what you wish for. Now my job is to get every coder to understand how amazing this Fastly platform is. I'm trying. How are we doing? And that's actually a really great example of so much of what we've found out coming inside Fastly as the Glitch team is that there has been this commitment that they articulate as for developers by developers from day one. And I said, okay, put me in. Let me tell this story about what I discovered coming into this company that I want everybody to know. Every single one of our customers needs to be able to tell your developers, and all the millions of developers that aren't yet using the platform have to discover too. And so we started with one of those principles that's been around at Fastly for a long time, but that we can give a new life to and a new vibrance to, and that's Fastly Labs. So Fastly Labs is being relaunched today in a profound new way. And it's based on a simple idea, which is we all rely on Fastly to be reliable and robust and fast and performant and all those things, but we also have to be able to invent together, to co-create with all of you in our community, the next generation of Fastly innovations. So Labs is where you'll discover that. It's where you can kick the tires on new technologies, try out things that you haven't experimented with before, learn about where the platform is headed, and also give us feedback on where the platform is headed so that we can learn from you and get to those bulletproof, robust products that are based exactly around your needs. And some of the specific things we're doing with this new era for Fastly Labs, the first is Fastly Fiddle. How many of you have used Fastly Fiddle? It's incredible, right? It's incredible. You can go in your browser, that same energy of time to hello world that we have in Glitch is infused in Fastly Fiddle, right? And fiddles make music too. And so it's a really great thing where the Glitch team and the Fiddle team were learning from each other even before we were part of the company. But what you're able to do is configure a service, it's VCL, it's compute, wherever you are, you can go into Fiddle and instantly try out that idea you had about how to improve what you're doing on the Fastly platform. You can try something out without even having to sign up for an account right in your web browser. Sounds like Glitch to me. I love the shared energy there. We'll be bringing these things in harmony so you have a full set of tools. And the biggest upgrades ever to Fiddle just landed, so you should check it out. If you haven't checked it out lately, you're going to find all set of new features there. We also have an incredible set of smart starters. Every programming language you're using, every framework, every toolkit, every common scenario that you want to solve for, we probably have a version of an answer there for all the platforms that we offer. It's incredible. Earlier, Lakshmi talked about there being 127 starters just for the cloud, the compute platform alone, right? And I'm a coder, so I'm like, 127, like we need to add one more so it's an even number, right? It needs to be 128. But we'll get there, and then we'll have, like someday we'll have 1,024, and it'll be great. The thing about this is these starters you are allowed to copy off of somebody else's test, right? Like this is the thing where you're allowed to take that code, put it to work for you. It feels like you're getting to cheat a little bit, having that much of an advance on building what you're building. And we also want to hear your feedback. You can send us pull requests. You can send us just regular old requests. Whatever you want to do to keep improving those starters to be close to your needs, we want to hear that. And then there's a whole robust set of open code. We've completely rewritten the API clients that you get from us to use open API so we can iterate faster. So you use some esoteric programming language that you want to make sure it talks to your Fastly platform. You can make that request. You can send us pull requests. And we want to support all the platforms and technologies you're using. We do not try to lock you into, you have to use our framework. You have to use this one particular blessed form of JavaScript. We want you to come in and tell us what you want to work with. And we want to work with as many things as we can. So that's the new Fastly Labs. It is incredible. We also see that same kind of innovation happen in Fastly Security Labs, where it's a place where you can try out the security platform, right? This is something where you have to make sure you understand it, feel comfortable with it, build the relationship with us, so we want you to try out Fastly Labs and Fastly Security Labs. And talking about open code and the open source code that we do leads to one of those fundamental commitments that, again, was about discovering values that have been in Fastly from day one, but that we can bring a new energy to with this new commitment we've made to developers. And that's the thing I'm most proud to announce today, which is our biggest announcement from our developer community, which is called Fast Forward. Today we're launching Fast Forward, which is a program for helping everybody build that better internet that we're all trying to head towards. It's something that I'm incredibly proud of. And I could tell you a million stories about this. I'm going to try and rein it in to the parts that really just sort of communicate really briefly. But the first starting point about Fast Forward is a trait about Fastly that I was profoundly inspired by becoming part of the company, which is that I would think of it as we play well with others. This takes a lot of forms. Part of it is, you think about the standards work. Earlier you saw, I think Nick was showing that Jana had worked on the Quick protocol. So we have people at this team that are working on protocols that are meant to upgrade and succeed the protocols like TCP, fundaments of the internet. So people here work on the teams that are trying to upgrade the fundamental protocols of the internet. And the only way that succeeds is by being able to work well with others, with everybody else out there. We're talking about building together. As Kim said, like it's not just about getting in the room with competitors, but it's actually like holding hands with them to move forward to the better internet. It's something we're really proud of, that fact that we play well with others. And it's also about the way we participate in all of the communities that define the standards, the formats, the protocols. Sometimes those are formal standards, and sometimes those are just our ability to sit in a room with our customers and learn about what they need. There's empowering the good internet, so providing tools, technology, and services to the people that are making the internet better. We've got an incredible guest with us here today, Bob Carr. Where are you, Bob? There he is. Hey, Bob. So Bob leads the team at MIT that creates Scratch. How many of you have heard of Scratch? How many of you have heard it because of your kids? Okay, so Scratch is, and tell me if this sounds familiar to you from a yes code environment. Scratch is a tool that lets you go in your browser as a student and learn to code by dragging and dropping blocks of code together. But it's real coding. It teaches real concepts. And over 90 million kids around the world had their first experience with coding through Scratch. And it's an open platform that is offered free to the world for everybody to learn from. And it's profound. It's really meaningful to me because one of those 90 million kids is my son. And the reason he learned to discover coding and loving coding was because of Scratch. This is a true story. And Bob can tell you, like I got emotional welcoming him in because I'm like, what does any parent want, right? Is to inflict your favorite things on your child, right? Like you want them to want what you want. And I hadn't succeeded and all the other things I'd done. And he found Scratch, and it made him love coding the way I love coding. And the way that all of you have had that experience of having something light up, that was his first experience with that. And Scratch has been that for tens of millions of kids. And what we hear from the Scratch community, the people building that team, is they were able to deliver that experience in a way that was fast, safe, and engaging because Fastly helped support them to do that and has been doing so for nearly a decade. When I heard that, when I came in, I was like, can I be the one to tell the world about that? Because I'm so proud of that, and I'm excited to be part of it. And one more thing, can we do that for everybody else that deserves it? Can we do that for all the open source tools and all of the languages that need it? And the good news is that's already been happening. No surprise. It's one of those things that's quietly, this is a humble company. I'm not, but the company's humble. And it's one of those things that they've quietly been doing for years. So if you go and you look at Ruby, you look at, any language, you look at Python, you look at all of the infrastructure that millions of coders rely on every day. And more often than not, they are getting delivered that code or the packages from their package manager through Fastly that's just been quietly doing it for them for free at enormous, unimaginable scale. So that's something that's incredibly powerful, but there's so much more potential if we can open that up to all of the worthy open source projects, all the people that are making the internet better. So with Fast Forward's launch today, we are carrying that forward to offer to as many of those open source projects as we can, the people that are building the technologies to make the internet better. And I wanted to share something. We haven't had an in-person Altitude in a couple years. So I'm going to go backward and do a little time travel. And I want you to imagine it's 2 years ago we were able to get together in person. I want to announce something that was announced then that you might have missed, which is Fastly's commitment of services to support these Fast Forward projects is $50 million of services. That's incredible. That's been in progress, but we're going to get a round of applause for it now because we weren't able to do it then. Can we hear it for $50 million? All right, thank you. So it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And it's one of those things that really shows, like, it's not about the dollars, it's about the love. There is that much love from Fastly for the work that all these good people are doing, and it is that important to support open source because that's how we get to do what we do. And that's what it gets to what we're trying to have happen overall, right? You've heard all day about this mission of building the better internet by making it fast, safe, and engaging. And the thing I really want to emphasize is the reason we do it is that first part, building this good internet, right? We're really, really proud of all of you as customers and partners and developers in our community. And one thing I love and I'm really proud of is that you all tell us that you like doing business with Fastly. We certainly hear from the Glitch community. We love being part of Glitch. We take that really seriously. We want to get that right. And so part of our commitment in launching things like Fast Forward, like relaunching labs, is about making sure that you feel good about doing business with us and that we all work together to help inspire, especially that next generation of people, to create that good internet. So thank you all so much. We're glad to have you here. We'll see you. Go to fastly.com/forward, sign up for the program. Can't wait to see what you create. Thank you.